Welcome to Infinity and Beyond, a podcast that takes a look back at the works of Pixar animation before moving onward to their newest films. Today, we're ka-chowing our way into the world of racing with cars, a movie that tells you everything you need to know with that title.
Wow.
Ka-chow.
I wanted to be the first to beat everyone to it. Wow. Radiator Springs. Wow.
Owen Wilson.
We're going to have to talk about his casting as the hot-headed, charismatic Lightning McQueen.
I love it.
All right, so who are we?
All right, I am Daniel.
And I'm Jarron.
And I'm Nora. And together we're the Ka-chows.
Indeed.
Ka-chow.
Wait, last week you said we were the Pixar buds.
Listen, it changes week to week, Jarron.
Okay.
I mean,
So you're going
It's
to join us for Ratatouille next week.
Oh, please.
Ratatouille is...
yeah, hopefully we can get a lot of people for Ratatouille.
How many
Yeah,
people can you do it once on Skype?
I don't know. We
We'll
had
figure
4
it out.
last week. Olivia is not here because, in her own words, let me find what she said.
I remember this.
Olivia said, and I quote, "All the cars are last on the Olivia Pixar list." Poor sweet Olivia, she's not here.
Yeah, I have to agree Cars are not my favorite, but I enjoy watching. It's just not my favorite.
Yeah. It's not my favorite either, but there are memes.
I am Speed.
All right, so it is Cars today, Pixar's 6th or 7th film.
This is their 7th film.
So that's
It's
our 7th episode.
Yeah, their 6th original film, since Toy Story was a sequel.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's Toy Story 2, yeah. So, anyway, Nora, thank you for joining us again.
You're welcome.
It's good to have you.
Thank you.
Always nice to have our number one fan with us.
I know. Just gotta have that number one fan support.
Yeah, and this episode will put us back on track with the timeline.
That is correct.
Yeah.
We'll have plenty of time to do Ratatouille, which is the one I really want to talk about.
I know,
love
I'm so
Ratatouille.
excited. I'm sorry, Cars. We're already forgetting about you.
I mean, it's moving cars with mouths. Like, there's not much to work with. They race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Cars is a 2006 film directed by John Lasseter, co-directed by Joe Ranft. I think that's how you say his last name.
Yeah.
So this is John Lasseter returning to the fold for the first time since Toy Story 2. Indeed. And what a downgrade.
If you compare Toy Story 2 to
yeah, I mean,
Cars.
It's mean, especially to this movie, but like, yeah.
I mean, it's funny because I actually like this movie.
I mean, I won't say Cars is a bad movie. Like, I was prepared to just be... go ahead.
Cars, the first one, it is a movie. It's a movie. It's all right. Cars 2, on the other hand, is like the one that... So if we don't have much to talk about tonight for Cars 1, we will have plenty to talk about in Cars 2 because that movie is crazy.
Cars
3...
2...
Go ahead.
Sorry, Cars 2 is the one where Mater goes to Japan, right?
Yeah, and he becomes a spy.
Yes. Oh, I remember Cars 2. It's coming back to me now.
Oh, man. I feel sorry for you. You successfully blocked that movie from your memory.
It all came back to me, like the whole plot. Oh, and the wasabi scene. Okay, yeah, I remember everything now. It's all that.
And then Cars 3 is actually pretty good. Trademark.
Yeah.
It pretends Cars 2 just does not exist.
That was the right.
I babysat a kid, and I still babysit him, but he watches Cars 3 like on replay, like constantly. Like
Aw.
if he gets upset, his mom always tells me just put on Cars. And once he got upset, and all of a sudden I like flipped on Cars, and it was like crazy. Like the kid like mellowed out, and then I turned it down too low, and he freaked out. And I was like, I'm so sorry. We will put Buzz Lightyear back on the TV.
Buzz Lightyear.
Not Buzz Lightyear. Whatever it is. You can see my connection to Cars isn't that strong.
That reminds me of the one woman who has to watch B-movie every day because it's the only thing that'll calm her child down.
What?
Oh, no.
Is this someone you know?
No, so on Twitter, it started trending because it came out that in the Netflix like catalog or whatever, they revealed that somebody had watched Cars 366 times in a year.
You mean
And everyone was like, and this was in the height of the B-movie meme. So everybody was like, wow, somebody's doing it for the meme. And then it came out that it was just this sweet little woman who had a baby, and the baby would only calm down if he was watching B-movie.
That's depressing.
What's the deal with bees and movie? We'll call it B-movie.
It just disturbs me that like a grown woman low-key falls in love with a bee. Like, I mean, it's
As
a bee.
opposed to this this movie, which has wholesome car-on-car romance.
But I mean, at
Zero
least they're the
humans.
same. I was gonna say at least they're the same species, but they're objects. So
Not if you're listening to the Pixar theory, which alleges that cars are like breathing evolved bugs, I think.
well,
The
I mean,
Pixar
maybe,
theory is weird and stupid, and I hate it.
maybe if it's a punch buggy.
N-
Ha 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 ha.
Or a
ha,
VW Beetle.
ha 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 ha.
We don't even have Joey here, and the puns are flowing.
Oh my gosh, I love Joey. Me and Joey bounce puns off each other.
Joey is a great man. His puns are always respected around here.
Yeah, I'm his punchline, which is a fancy way of saying his pun sidekick.
That's cool.
Nice.
Thank you.
So, for Cars, I actually have notes this time around.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Aside from you gushing about Incredibles last week.
yeah. With the Incredibles, like I started to take notes, and then after the prologue, I just kind of watched the movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my hoodie off. It's getting hot in here.
Well, The Incredibles is amazing. Also, that zipper sound was so clear. This turned into an ASMR video so fast.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, nope.
Cars.
Nope.
Today
Nope.
I'm gonna rev my engine.
Damn, shut up.
You found a way to make Cars 2 worse?
Okay, so the first thing I want to do for this movie, I do have a compliment.
Okay.
It has a very classy soundtrack.
The soundtrack is very nice. Randy Newman makes good music.
Yeah, and even like the needle drops. It's really good.
No.
The Melon.
Wait, what name did you say again?
Anthony Fantano.
No.
He's a YouTuber. He's bald, and he reviews music.
No, I should know who that is. I watch YouTube like all the time.
No,
Anyway, how do we get talking about The Melon?
music? Good
Yeah.
soundtrack. Good bops.
I appreciate a good soundtrack.
Yeah. And I mean, they used one of my favorite songs. Life could be a dream. Life
66?
could be a dream.
Oh, Daniel, serenade me.
I love that song.
It's so good.
Right, I forgot they used that.
I wish that it was
when
in
they use
a
that
Pixar
song
movie I
for
enjoyed a lot more. But I'll take it.
What if they
As
made a
much as
Pixar movie
I've
about?
joked about it, yeah. As much as I've joked about it, I really don't hate Cars. Like, and honestly,
I
like
like
Cars 2, I
Cars.
did kind of forget about it, but I enjoyed it. Like, it's enjoyable.
It's not a bad movie. It's
mean-
just if I were to compare it to
I mean,
anything
they're
that we've talked about
successful
so
for a
far,
reason.
Like, if I were to compare to any Pixar movie before this, probably A Bug's Life more than anything. Just, it feels very much like the outline of a great Pixar movie, and then
Yeah,
the
that's a
details
good
just
comparison, actually.
I like Cars much more than I like A Bug's Life.
Oh, so you don't like A Bug's Life either? I like A Bug's Life.
I don't. I mean, like, once again, none of the Pixar movies I'm like, ugh. Well, none that I'm thinking of anyway. But like, I don't know. I never really liked Bugs that much. It's okay, but
Did you like the
Yeah.
bugs in this movie? They
the
look
bugs in
bugs wings.
Cars.
Here we go again.
They're just simple shots of just
This
bugs.
movie
Like the
They're
little
is,
tiny.
they're little tiny cars, and they have bug wings.
Yeah,
but they look just
I
like
think
the
they're
other
adorable.
cars.
That'd be
They're
like if
little
insects.
tiny cars of bugs.
But that'd be like if insects in our world were just little tiny humans with wings.
And that'd be creepy.
Well, that would make them fairies,
Fairies!
right? It's Tinkerbell. I don't know. I never thought of it like that. I just thought, oh, that's adorable.
You can't watch Cars and not just think of the lore implications of this world.
Yeah, like, is Lightning a race car because he was built to be one or born one? Or did he just like racing and so he turned himself into a race car?
Because, like, Toy Story, like, it's similar to Toy Story, but it makes sense because Toy Story is set in, like, our world, but there are toys that come to life.
Yeah.
Like, Buzz Lightyear thinks he's a space ranger at first, but he realizes he isn't. He adopts a personality of his own. He becomes his own independent person, basically. Cars, it begs the question: oh, was Tow Mater a tow truck? Could he become anything else if he, wanted to? Maybe what he does, he becomes a spy. But
I'm gonna say I think they're born like or made like that because like in the third movie, I remember his trainer was saying like how bad she wanted to be a racer and she would race and race every day, but like I don't think she could because she wasn't built like that, and so that's why she's a trainer. I think that would only be my real like evidence behind that,
but the world is like so human focused, as in like we see Notre Dame and Cars 2. There's the Pope Mobile. How does this universe work?
We don't. Yeah, how are they born?
So the answer
I guess,
is don't think about it. Don't think about it.
Yes. But there are like children cars in the movie, isn't there? Like not in the first. Thing, but, like,
there are teenager cars who flash their headlights at lightning.
Yeah, I feel maybe I'm remembering that wrong, but I swear there were like little cars that were children. So like, do they grow? It's like they used to be the size of the bug cars, and then they just expand.
Oh no.
They just grow casually.
I have no idea. So should probably at least cover like the basic plot details. This is a story. Yeah, there's a guy. He goes to a place. He does a thing.
Good.
This is the story of Lightning McQueen. He is a rookie racer in the Piston Cup, and on the big final race. On the big final race of the circuit, he gets into a three-way tie with the reigning champion and some loser named Chick.
With a mustache of sorts.
Yep, so...
Oh, yeah.
They're going to hold a tiebreaker race, and on the way to the tiebreaker race, Lightning gets stranded in the middle of Radiator Springs, and because of hijinks, he has to fix their road. Slave labor, all that.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So
oh, yeah.
He fixes the road, and he learns to really appreciate the town folk there. And then the big race happens, and he doesn't win, but it's okay because he learned a lesson.
Yep.
Yay.
Yay.
It's a very simple story. I don't know why this is one of Pixar's longer films.
It does drag on way too long.
I guess there's a lot of side plots, like with Mater, which is the best character, and Sally. Sally's the girl car's name, right?
Yeah.
She's a Porsche.
Yeah, she's a Porsche, and like his trainer man. There's like a big backstory with him, and
oh yeah, Doc.
Yeah.
He's my favorite character
Doc.
in the whole series. Just because he's a really cool looking car.
Doc looks old, so they must age. Doc looks old. He has like a gray mustache. I think the cars grow like people.
All right, that's your theory.
My
theory is that cars are able to grow hearts because of the interference of Xehanort.
Oh no.
The Heartless came to the Cars world, and cars are able to grow hearts.
Kingdom Hearts 4 is just going to be Radiator Springs world.
Oh, please.
Wow, Sora, we gotta fight the organization. Wow.
Lightning, quick, blind them with your headlights. They're just stickers, Sora, no!
How dare you make fun of Owen Wilson, Jarron?
No, I'm not making fun of him. I'm going on about his amazing music to my ears voice.
Good. That's what I thought.
Except if they did Kingdom Hearts Cars World, they couldn't get Owen Wilson. They'd have to get his like union sound alike. Wow, yeah. Sora, this is how the Owen Wilson sound alike sounds.
Oh wow.
Wow. So we got off topic, but
I've never thought this hard. Well, I've thought about it before, like wondering about like how do the cars do that? But like when you really sit down and think about it, I'm just confused about how the cars exist.
The Pixar theory, which I think is
I want to have a car together. And then they like build their children. Is that how the cars are made, or can you
pop
birth
out of the
a
mommy's
car?
trunk?
They pop out of the trunk.
Oh no!
So like, do pregnant cars just like turn into like would a minivan just become a van as she gets pregnant and then back to minivan?
No.
Wait, can you get inside of the car and like see through their eyeballs? Because
their
like,
doors
doors
never open.
There's fan art of organs inside of.
I don't like that.
The only Cars fan art that I approve of is the one where you Photoshop their eyes onto the rigs from Mad Max Fury Road. It's the best thing in the world.
I want there to be like a human in Cars, in like the Cars universe, and they just like climb into one of the cars.
Mm-hmm. That's what Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to be. Sora doesn't change form into a car. He just stays his regular form.
Lightning McQueen, according to me.
No, wait. Donald and Goofy wouldn't become a car. They would become a motorcycle in the sidecar. They'd be stuck together throughout the entire world. Donald would be the sidecar, and he'd hate it.
He'd probably like get hit with a sign or something.
Wait, guys, you gotta hear my Donald Duck voice.
Okay.
That's Gollum.
Golly.
Golly. Golly, gee, Donald.
Our friend Ben does a good Goofy, apparently.
He does.
Ben, come on the podcast.
We should get Ben the next time.
Oh my gosh. Please bring Ben on y'all's podcast. Please.
That would be fantastic.
Okay.
Let's just have the whole
group.
No, finish that thought.
Oh, sorry, me. I was thinking let's have the whole cast, but then people don't know who the cast is, so my thought like faded into my mind. So just
of
continue.
The show that we're in, Daniel had to censor last week
because I revealed our location. Oops.
And I oop.
I'm so proud of you, Jarron. You're talking like a Visco girl.
I've been using Fun and Fresh, like you said last night.
I say Fun and Fresh all the time. So proud. Okay, Cars. Cars.
Cars is very
Right,
fun
so-
and
Say
fresh.
fun and fresh. The cars go sk 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 sk.
Wow, look at this hydro flask. Save the turtles, Mayor.
No. The second movie is the environmental one.
It is. The lemons.
Okay,
All right, so
so
let's talk about our characters. We've talked enough about Kingdom Hearts and Visco Girls.
yeah, so our main guy is Lightning McQueen, who
Wow.
I mean, he's an idiot, he's self-absorbed, and he's a racer.
Yes.
And he's mostly a jerk. He's a bit of a womanizer,
Yeah.
and he learns to like the small town life after being enslaved. So he gets Stockholm syndrome and decides to stay in the town to make it his like racing headquarters or whatever.
Oops.
Oops.
Yeah. I mean that's basically it.
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot going on there.
He's
Yeah.
like classic Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's Owen Wilson's like opposite, but
Owen Wilson is
by
like
Owen
so
Wilson.
low key.
He really is. Which I wonder why they chose Owen Wilson.
Speaking of Owen Wilson
Because
being
he
low
has
key,
the voice of an angel.
speaking of Owen Wilson being low key, Tom Hiddleston does a fantastic Owen Wilson impression.
Yes, that's very related to Owen Wilson being low key.
Yes. Do you
But-
get the joke?
I don't know. I mean, like he's a great actor. Like he's played like outlandish roles and things, and
You know
I
what he's
don't
really
know.
good in?
Zoolander.
That and at Night Museum, where he plays the cowboy.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I remember that.
I
He's
like
great
those
in
movies.
everything. He was in a dramatic film I saw actually, like where it was like hardcore drama. It was a very intense movie. I couldn't tell you what it was called. Like he was great though. So a little bit there was a few plot holes, but I can't remember. It was like I'll have to find out the name, but I just cried a lot. It was very scary and intense, but he did great.
Thank you, Owen Wilson.
Behind this movie.
Yep.
It was really good.
I love how we immediately diverted from talking about Lightning's character to talking about Owen Wilson, because one of them is more interesting than the other.
There's not a lot going
Yeah.
on there.
I mean,
Let's not lie.
I would argue he's a little bit better than Flick, but I don't think any other Pixar protagonist is under Lightning McQueen. At least as far as this movie goes.
Yeah, I can't really think because I still haven't seen The Good Dinosaur, so I can't really tell you about Arlo, my favorite
Arlo is a
puppet
scare
Nintendo
book.
YouTuber. Do you know
Arlo-
Arlo, Daniel?
I know the channel.
Okay, I love Arlo. Shout out to Arlo, my favorite puppet.
No escape. That's what it's called.
Cool.
Okay. I'm glad you
Sorry.
finished that tangent. The
It
more
has
interesting.
47% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I know that now.
Good to know. You know,
That is-
oh,
You're
every time I say good to know, you know, I think of
Ooh.
What?
an Over the Garden Wall. I'm the highwayman. Okay, good to know.
I love Over the
Yes.
Garden Wall.
It's literally my favorite thing ever.
I love
Well,
Over the Garden
I'm very
Wall.
sorry, Jarron, but we can't talk about your favorite thing ever. We have to talk about your second favorite thing ever, and that's Cars.
Kingdom Hearts. Oh,
How dare you?
So, Doc Hudson is a much better character.
he's great. Doc is fantastic. He's a really cool looking car too. The Hudson.
Well,
one.
yeah.
I don't know the
Yeah,
first thing
because
about
he's
cars. I just think cars look cool. Some of them do.
I mean, Doc is kind of. He's not the most unique character of his archetype.
No.
You know, the old timer who had his glory days, and he's not really a big fan of the thing he used to love, but secretly loves it
So
deep down
did he.
inside.
So he's on an island and living by himself, and Lightning McQueen shows up and hands him the piston cup, and he throws it over his shoulder, and
If Cars 3 had started out that way, would have been top 10 Pixar,
yeah,
maybe
and
top
he
5.
drinks oil.
Drinks
The way
oil straight
Cars
from
3
muffler.
started shocked me to my core.
Wait, did you not see the trailer?
I did, but listen, Jarron, when I was
That's
babysitting
fine.
this child for the first time and that scene happened, I was with another girl and we were watching it together and like with him, and I went because I saw it happen. I had forgotten about it, like literally gasped. I was so invested into what was happening. So I was like, this is a children's movie. There's so much happening right now. But yeah, that's how I
Compare
felt
that
about
to
that.
compare that to this movie where it's a race. A lightning sticks his
NASCAR.
tongue out.
We live in the South, so we know what NASCAR is.
Yes, we do. Oh wait, no, you gave away our location generally.
Great.
Oh,
Well,
no.
once down the South,
Bleep
boy,
it out.
only thing that matters is NAS and car.
I mean, they can probably hear it in our voices.
None of us sound Southern, though.
I sound a
Well,
spot
I
British.
don't think I do, but I have some cousins from up north, and they say some of my words sound Southern, so.
I mean, we say y'all every now and again.
I say y'all almost
Oh,
ironically, like.
So
I went to this thing in Indiana. I said, "Can y'all tell I'm Southern?" And they said, "Well,
I
when
heard
you
it there.
walked in and said,
Southern.
hey, y'all." Well, they said not really, but when you walked in and said, "Hey, y'all," we kind of clued in. I was like, "Oh,
Hey, y'all, you're an all-star." But Livia's having a lot of fun in her DreamWorks podcast.
Oh yeah, DreamWorks starting off right with ants. Oh boy.
Yay!
Well, to bring it back around to this movie, there was one character moment with Lightning. I know we kind of moved on from him, but there was one character moment that I actually thought was pretty good for him.
Yeah.
And that was when he kind of like became a little bit obsessed with figuring out how to turn on dirt, and he like spent the whole night trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Because before that,
like,
well, I would argue before that, there was no indication that Lightning actually enjoyed racing.
You're right.
Because
Wait, that's his passion, though.
Is it though? Is it what is it, or is it just what he's
here's
paid
the
to do?
thing: when he has his big like moment of like wanting to become, the Dynaco sponsor boy, and we see in like his imagination,
Oh,
like he doesn't really,
fun.
he really cares about the fame. He really wants, to be adored.
Oh
He
my
wants
God.
accolades. He wants to be in movies. Apparently, he wanted to be an action star, but
Yeah, with like firepower.
it really wasn't until that point in the movie where it's like, oh, he found something about racing that he didn't quite get on the first try, and now he's obsessed with figuring it out.
Right to go left.
Yeah, so it's
probably because, like, I think his whole character is that he's naturally talented. It seems like he really doesn't have to work super hard to be where he's at until, like,
He's one of them entitled millennials.
Yeah. So then
everyone else in the town is a boomer. Like literally, they are all 40 years older than Lightning, minimum.
Except for Mater. Isn't Mater his age?
Except for Sally.
And Sally.
No, you see, when they did that big flashback about the highway, Sally said 40 years ago, and everybody in the town except her and Lightning were there 40 years ago.
Yeah, Mater was there with like a fresh coat of paint. And
yeah, assuming Mater was like a teenager at the time, he's at least 50.
That makes sense, I guess.
Like, he is older than Lightning McQueen.
No.
He is much older than Lightning McQueen.
We know cars aren't immortal because Doc dies in between 1 and 2 because they couldn't recast Paul Newman. Do their engines just go out?
He ran out of gas.
Cars pop out of their mother car's trunk and they start off small, and they just casually grow, and they grow and they die.
Because they're not immortal. Like, it's implied in Toy Story that toys are immortal, or can be.
If they're made of plastic.
Yeah.
Well, they're not immortal because they almost die in like Toy Story 3.
Well, there's a difference between
they could live.
Yeah, immortal doesn't mean not being able to be killed. Like,
basically doesn't age.
Yeah. Pardon my mansplaining there. My goodness.
Yeah. Oh,
so, yeah,
I didn't take it as mansplaining at all.
I was acting like a teacher.
Appropriate.
I enjoyed the educational moment.
So,
thank you.
It's weird.
You're welcome.
That's all I'm saying. Like, it's weird that Mater is so old compared to Lightning.
Yeah.
I never thought of it as that. That's so... No, I refuse to believe it.
I mean, this is the first time I thought about it, because I only really noticed it this time around.
Yeah.
This is strange. Mater is my favorite character.
Really? A lot of people say he's the Jar Jar of Pixar. Oh, you've never seen Star Wars?
No. Don't tell the viewers that, Jarron. They'll hate me.
Too late. I'm not cutting it out.
It's not that I don't like Star Wars, and I've seen parts of 1 or 2 of the movies, and I liked them. I just haven't gotten around to it, which I know is going to be our next podcast.
That's actually a good idea for a podcast. We could make you watch all of Star Wars and talk about it.
And make me react to them.
Yes, that'd be fun in anticipation for number 9.
Yeah, I would be down.
They're all on Disney.
The basic, like Luke, I am your father. There's Jedis and Darth Vader and Princess Leia and the gold bikini scene and Darth Vader, whatever it is.
Very nice.
I know Princess Leia's in a gold bikini, and then there's like some weird incest thing that almost happens, but it doesn't really happen. But everyone's like, ew. And Chewbacca's the best character. And
you're right about that.
The squishy guy.
Squishy guy.
The Jaja guy. I don't know what his name is.
Jabba the Hutt.
Jabba the Hutt.
This is turned into Star Wars.
I know that because whenever my mom says, when my mom's thinking that she doesn't like what she's wearing or something, she says, I look like Jabba the Hutt. And I asked who is that. She showed me a photo and I was like, you don't look like Jabba the Hutt, but that's hilarious.
All right, you're going to make a Disney Plus account and you're going to watch all Star Wars, young lady.
Okay. So we planned that out.
Oh, yeah, I forgot we were talking about cars.
We're talking about cars, yeah.
Kind of trying to. It's not an easy movie to talk about because there's so little, but it's...
I'm going to be really honest here. This movie's boring.
Yeah.
At least Cars 2 is, like, entertainingly bad. This is boringly good.
I actually think Cars 2 is, like, interesting. Like, there's a lot happening in Cars 2.
You can unpack so much about that movie.
I like the wasabi scene with Mater in Cars 2. For some reason, that's one of the main scenes I can remember.
Only one Mater joke has ever made me laugh. And
really?
It was the wasabi joke.
Well, what was it? He was barely in the third one, so...
Yeah. So it was in this movie, after he takes the boot off Lightning, and Lightning just drives away.
Yeah.
And then that slow moment of him just realizing, oh. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, nothing else about that makes me laugh.
Based on like the last 2 videos, it just sounds like I like the comic relief characters, but I don't. I'm just not that invested in Cars, and I find Mater funny, and I like him.
I
like charming people.
This back to my own experience. This movie came out when I was 10 years old. And I had all the little die-cast car toys. I was the prime age for this movie. It came out.
Oh. The difference
collected...
with like Cars and Incredibles is like Incredibles. I just realized I was saying like a lot. Excuse my teenagerness.
Like,
is that
totally.
Incredibles is one of those movies. I know it's bad. Is that Incredibles is one of those movies that you can age with and appreciate when you're older, but
Yeah.
Cars is more of a movie you enjoy when you're younger. You can still watch it and like it when you're older, but typically it's more of the younger audience aim.
Yeah.
Fair. What
I
I'm
think that's
wondering,
the big difference.
what I'm wondering is what drew John Lasseter back for this.
Well, I don't know if he really was drawn back for this. It was just a case of this was his next idea, and it took a couple years to realize it.
But how was this his idea? Like, he just came off from making Toy Story, A Bug's Life, and Toy Story 2. And then in between that time
it's an
period...
interesting concept.
Well, so at the time that he got off in Toy Story 2, they still hadn't figured out humans. So he probably was not going to make any movie about humans.
Yeah, we just got the first Pixar movie entirely about humans. And even then, they were stylized and not realistic looking.
So he was going to return to his roots. He was going to do non-human, possibly inanimate objects that like have emotions. Like he's been doing that since Luxo Jr.
Yep. Oh, the shorts.
Yep.
We don't have time to do the shorts.
As we keep saying, but...
Hey, you know who hasn't made an appearance in the show in the last few episodes?
Oh, who's
Daniel,
that?
you know. Randall.
Oh, Randall. Our fact checker.
Yeah. Randall!
Randall, pull up the stats on this movie.
Nora has no idea what we're talking about.
Nora, you're a number one fan.
Some number one fan you are.
I'm sorry. I definitely know Randall. Randall is my best friend.
Cool.
But I thought I was.
Well, you're my brother, technically. I can't say you're my best friend. That's not cool, big bro.
Okay, little sis.
All right, so...
Randall's my best friend, dog.
Randall is our best friend.
Randall's the best friend.
We yell at him all the time.
I would definitely...
Oh. So, yeah, I really don't know. I didn't do any, like, reading up on this movie. I would imagine it really was just about, like, returning to the roots, making inanimate objects have emotions type of deal.
Yeah.
I don't know why he chose Cars specifically, but this is a very John Lasseter film.
Well, John Lasseter is a huge, like, car fanatic. Apparently his dad, like, owned a car dealership when he was a kid.
That's right. We kind of talked about this a while back.
Yeah.
So, okay, I can see Cars then being his thing.
Yeah.
Plus, kids are going to be like, oh, cars are so cool. And also, you can make great toy merchandise off of cars.
Good point you just made there, because
the merchandise made way more money than the movie.
The highest grossing franchise of all time in terms of merchandise. It's not Star Wars. It's no movie franchise.
Pokemon is movies.
It is, but strictly movie franchise.
Okay, in that case, it is Cars.
Yeah, it's not Star Wars. Yeah. It's not Marvel. It's not Toy Story. It's Cars.
I mean, that's why it's so successful. I mean, you can do so much with, like, or you don't even have to do that much. It's a car. It's a car with a face and
that's why Disney greenlit a
that.
sequel, despite this being one of the worst performing Pixar movies at the time.
I genuinely would not be surprised if we get Cars 4 in the next couple of years.
Oh, please.
I wouldn't be either, but I really hope we don't.
That makes me disappointed, because you could be doing... I'm so sick of, like, sequels. I want something new.
I want to go see Knives Out this weekend.
Same.
Except for
Daniel,
Frozen
come to town
2.
and go see Knives Out with me.
Jarron, I'm moving into an apartment. I can't.
No.
Sorry.
What's Knives Out?
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
It's a new movie, Nora.
What's it about?
It's a murder mystery.
I love murder mysteries. Jarron, let's go.
Enjoy Knives Out.
We'll gather the troops.
We can phone call you, and you can listen to the movie while you're moving into your apartment.
Yeah.
I'll go see it eventually.
Okay.
So look.
Knives Out gang.
We'll call ourselves Knives In. Anyway. So
Where were we? Oh, cars being ludicrously lucrative.
Yeah. And I mean, I want to even go back even further because I was calling this a very John Lasseter film. And one of the few things I actually wanted to talk about this movie way back when we were first discussing Lasseter is like the way he constructs his stories. The two main duo, comedy, and then you just have the whole community aspect in the background.
Yep, it's like me and you, Daniel.
Me,
I'm
you,
the background.
No,
you,
you're
Randall.
I'm Randall.
I think you and I were discussing which Pixar duo we were. I still can't.
Who, me?
Just me and Daniel.
Yeah,
Okay, I was
we're
gonna say I
not
do not
Lightning
remember
and
the
Mater.
conversation.
I think we're the furthest from Lightning and Mater.
Y'all are like
Neither of
Buzz
us
and
are.
Woody.
Okay, I'll take that. I'm cool with being either of them.
I can't decide which is which. I have to think on it.
Oh.
Daniel might be Woody,
Yeah.
Howdy.
but I don't see you as Buzz. I have to think on it.
There's no sign of intelligent life anywhere.
Yeah.
Y'all are Jesse and Woody.
I'm not.
Yeehaw.
I can't
Yep.
yodel.
Maybe you're Bullseye then.
Yeah, who would
No.
you be? That's the question.
Oh wait, y'all can be. No, never mind. Just let me think on it.
You're Violet because you sound like her.
If we're doing Incredibles, y'all can be Edna and Mr. Incredible.
I'm down.
Okay, all right.
Jarron, we'll
Cool.
pick who we are in our heads and tell each other later.
Yeah, because we got ground to cover. We got tires to track.
Yeah, so like I was saying, the John Lasseter film really does have that big community aspect in the background, and this one is probably the most so because you have all of Radiator Springs.
Yeah, a whole bunch of quirky townspeople, towns cars.
Yep, you got Flo and Ramon and Red.
Okay, Ramon is one of the cooler designs. I don't know what kind of car that is, but
I like how he keeps changing colors throughout.
That's the
He's
good
always
recurring gag.
It's not really a gag, it's just like a character thing, like he's always painting himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would that be like the equivalent of like dyeing your hair or cutting your hair?
Probably.
Oh my
Or maybe
gosh,
it's
yes,
just
getting
stylist
your
outfits.
paint. I love
And
that
of course-
their diner, like, they drink gasoline, like, at the diner. I think that's so funny.
Yeah, it's a drive-in eatery.
Yeah. One thing I do like about this movie, in general, I kind of like the like old-fashioned Route 66 kind of aesthetic.
Yeah,
It's not like my favorite aesthetic.
I
But
was about to say that.
but they try.
yeah.
And I think what really helps-
the animation.
Yes,
It's a pretty looking film.
I did want to talk about it. I think they finally figured out how to make the backgrounds a little more dynamic in this movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of landscapes.
A lot of landscapes, a lot of like good lighting, like that scene where Sally and Lightning go on a drive, like all the lights.
Yes.
And the music is very nice in the sequence as well.
Yeah,
Sorry,
so
that burger I just ate is having.
The animation is very nice.
The burger I ate is what I imagine the burger from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse tasting like.
there we go.
Oh, he made his Spider-Man reference for the video.
He did the thing. Clap.
Say the line, Bart. I was literally just watching that episode. I didn't do it.
But no, I really like the animation because although the concept of the cars and how they exist are confusing, I like their movements and things. I think it's funny when they try to use their wheels as hands and they like do little gestures and they like move.
I know. It looks so weird. And
And then in
it's a good
Cars
kind of
2,
weird.
Like, I guess that's more of a director's choice, but I like the way the cars like function and the way they animated that.
Yeah. In Cars 2, they have weapons like coming out of them, which is something.
It's like I have guns that come
In
out of my
Cars-
hands.
Okay. Wolverine upgraded.
Instead of claws, it's just machine guns.
Edward.
That's like something
Scissorhands.
Robert Rodriguez would make.
500.
It is. Or Zack Snyder.
I don't think Zach would go that direction.
In Cars 3, though, I remember that I think it was like a GPS, and his trainer was saying, "Oh, you don't have this in your car, or not your car, and on you, or that he didn't have blinkers." And it was like the functions of normal cars that like some of Lightning McQueen didn't have because he was like a racing car.
Yeah,
I thought
he
that was
doesn't have a horn in this movie when he tries to go tractor tipping.
Yeah, because he's built differently.
Yeah, he's a racer. He's a NASCAR.
That whole concept. But where did they come from? Who makes them?
Don't
Well,
think
Cars 2 implies that there is car religion, so...
What?
the great assembly line in the sky makes them.
Mater says, is the Pope Mobile Catholic? And we see the Pope Mobile later on. So, Catholicism exists.
Does a mommy car and a daddy car go to the shop and build a baby car?
I'm just reminded of that Futurama episode. Where they explain how robots make babies. I imagine
have so
similar.
many questions.
So, well, just don't think about it. That's the answer.
Yeah.
Something I will think about, though. There was a moment in this movie there was a moment in this movie that I think really did fail on an emotional level.
Yeah.
And I think it hurts the rest of the film.
What isn't it?
It's the montage about the old days and the highway being built.
It is such a boomer song.
Yeah, so this was so very much trying to be When She Loved Me.
Yes, that's exactly what I was about to say.
And I'm not surprised John Lasseter tried to crib that again. But I think I finally understand why it doesn't work.
Tell us.
So When She Loved Me, when we find out Jesse's backstory, that reveals something new. It peels back her layers. And that's part of what's so emotionally devastating about it. But this scene...
so sad.
Yeah, but this scene doesn't peel back the layers. It just kind of explains to you how things got the way they have been the whole movie.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, sad, small town America is not a thing anymore. But it's like, why should I care about that?
Yeah, because even if you like the gang over in Radio,
I do like the side characters. They're fun.
Guido is best.
Guido is best. I like Luigi as well.
Yeah, but
really,
Pit
I always thought that
perfect moment.
was sad. I always thought that was sad because they were all so sad that no one came and that they were losing business, and I always thought that was sad. It's not like a Jessie When She Loved Me moment, but
it's trying so hard to be that moment. And it's just
comes right in the middle of.
It's like
I guess
you've known
never thought
characters
of it like
for
that.
a while now, and it is kind of sad to see things go badly for them, but we've already know how that turns out, where they are now.
Mm.
So it's not like their lives were ruined. It's just things weren't good for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, I get what you're saying. It just clicked for me because you didn't know that about Jessie, but you already knew this about them. I get it.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
that's what I'm trying to get.
Yeah, that was a slow moment for me.
It's okay. But if there is an emotional beat that in this movie absolutely does work. And that's the end of the race.
That is a great moment. I dare say. I genuinely like that we get to see the growth of Lightning's character and that he helps the king, who is apparently modeled after and voiced by like a real race car driver.
I believe.
Oh, really?
Because he doesn't really sound like a voice actor.
Yeah, let me look at this. Let me get Randall to fact check it.
Randall,
look this
Like-
thing up.
I didn't want to be mean, but he didn't really sound like he had a lot of range.
Yeah, okay, so Richard Petty as Strip the King Weathers. He was literally a NASCAR driver called the King and drove a car just like that.
Okay.
I think that's kind of cool.
That part is the biggest character shift. Like, you see the character progression of Lightning. Like, it's a wholesome moment.
Yeah.
It shows that there was a big arc for him, and that, you know, he's not just a Hollywood basic boy man car thing. Owen Wilson.
Yeah, it absolutely works because it connects the whole Doc plot to now. It shows Lightning's growth. It's the perfect way to end it because, like, after everything he went through and after learning that, you know, racing isn't the only thing in the world, like, it wouldn't make sense for him to win.
Yeah.
It'd be too basic if he just won anyway.
Yeah.
And that's something we'll
Then
get
it
into
would
when we
really
get
be
to
bad.
Monsters University that I like a lot in that movie.
I love Monsters University.
You do? So do I.
I love that movie.
Of course you do. It's a good movie.
I like it better than Monsters, Inc.
Whoa.
Oh.
I know.
No,
I
but at
do.
the same time, I understand because, yeah.
I mean, I get it, but
I think the reason, though, is because I never watched Monsters, Inc. that much. And Monsters University, I know I saw in theaters because it was more around my age demographic at that time. So that's really probably why. But yeah.
You want to know something funny I find about Cars?
what?
Huh?
Something funny I find about Cars is that Lightning McQueen's agent, who we never see, in the British dub of the movie, not dub, but in the UK, he's voiced by Jeremy Clarkson from Top Gear. If you guys know the British Top Gear.
Not very well, but
It's a British car show. It's very British.
I just wanted to be polite.
I just think
So
it's
I
kind of
said
cool. He's voiced
That
by
is
another
cool,
actor in America, but
I like that they use like people in the driving racing world in the movie.
yeah, I don't know the first
Yeah.
thing about NASCAR, but they got like some like
I don't
famous
either.
drivers.
yeah, and
Well, that's fun and fresh.
again, like,
That's fun and fresh.
I mean, kind of. It's just a case of they're not actors, and you can tell.
Has there ever been a time where like an
Yeah,
athlete
but-
shows up in a movie and like they're actually really good?
Space Jam.
Aside from Space Jam, you beat me by about 3 seconds.
I was literally thinking Space Jam. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, even though he is an actor, but he started as a wrestler.
He started as a football player. Yeah, before he's a
I mean-
wrestler, yeah. Oh, no,
a lot
my
of
goodness,
us
where,
He's not a
connect.
football player.
pardon my manners, Terry Crews was a football player before he was an actor.
Okay, Terry Crews is the best of them.
Terry Crews needs to be in a Pixar movie.
Yes. Why isn't
Put
he
that
in Soul
man in-
instead of Jamie Foxx?
He is a funny man. He's great on what I've seen of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I've never finished that, but
Yeah, we need Terry Crews in a Pixar movie.
yeah.
Cars 4
Terry
for
for
Terry.
Pixar hashtag. No. Put him in like a genuinely like
I was gonna say, don't put him in Cars 4.
yeah. Put him in like something really good.
Yeah, not that.
Terry Crews, if you're listening, we love you.
Terry
On
Crews,
the-
come on our podcast.
Could you imagine?
He like texts y'all. Sure. Why not?
Terry Crews comes on the podcast episode for the movie he's in.
We love Terry.
Yeah.
2020.
They should just name the movie Terry.
That would be good.
They could have him talk for an hour and a half. And they'll just animate to whatever he says.
I'd watch that. I'd
I
show
would
up in the
too.
theater for that.
Terry likes eating yogurt. It's just animating him punching yogurt.
Yeah. I need to probably go back to Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
It's good. You should.
I was watching it this time last year.
So, I only have a few more notes, really. Like, there's not much else I want to say.
There's not much else to say.
This movie
Cars.
does have Pixar's first swear.
The scandal.
Where?
When he
and Lightning
screams
says
hillbilly
that-
hell.
Yeah. And Mater says, and Lightning's like, he raced in the Piston Cup. And Mater says, he did what in his cup?
Well, it didn't say
It's
hell.
not swear, but it's like, I'm
Well-
sure.
Well, this movie has curses. Because Sally also says hell.
Yeah.
Sally says it?
Yeah, when she throws it back in Lightning's face. Like, even here in Hillbilly Hell, we have basic modern comforts. Or something.
I do not remember this moment.
This movie is rated G,
This is why you
by the
gotta
way.
watch these movies, Nora.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
You know-
Ratatouille, Nora, next week.
Watch it.
Okay. I got you.
I started watching it last night.
Like, I usually find swearing in cartoons kind of classy. Like, oh, yeah. Let's be adult for a second.
I was watching the Simpsons episode today where Flanders' son hears Homer swearing. And I'm watching The Simpsons right now on Disney Plus. That's like all I'm watching right now.
The Simpsons.
Do you like The Simpsons, Nora?
I like them, but I really haven't watched them that much. But if I see them on TV, I'll turn them on. I just haven't seen like a ton of them, but I do enjoy The Simpsons. I love
90s
Lisa.
Simpsons is like literally the greatest TV show ever.
Yeah,
I'm
I've
catching
seen
up on things
quite
that
a
were-
few of them.
I'm catching up on things that were on when I was a child and like was not allowed to watch, or maybe I wasn't born yet. Seinfeld, Simpsons, my goodness, literally the greatest like comedy ever. No Friends. I don't like Friends. Friends is terrible and poo poo garbage.
What? No, I love Friends. So no
Well,
one
enjoy the
knows
reunion
that
special then.
I'll be waiting.
I'm never getting a Seinfeld special, so I'm over it. I can just watch B Movie again. Jerry
I love
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld.
Okay, good. Who's your favorite Seinfeld character?
Huh?
Who's your
Well,
favorite
it's not
Seinfeld
Lightning
character?
McQueen.
I don't know if maybe I don't know. I like them all. Probably.
Ariel, you know,
I guess Jerry or Kramer,
yeah.
but sometimes
You-
Kramer's a little too much for me.
You
But
know
not
Ariel
really, tell
Nora's
us.
our friend.
Yes, I know Ariel.
I love Ariel. She's the best. She said, and I quote, we were discussing one night, Seinfeld and her disdain for it and my disdain for Friends. She said, I don't like that little bald man. He is such a sad sack, that little
George?
bald man. Yes. I love how she
George?
says she hates that little bald man.
Oh, I know my favorite character,
Who,
the Soup Nazi.
of course. No soup for you.
Yep, that's the best one.
Daniel, remember when we were going to discuss Drive on this episode? I've got
Yeah,
another
Nora.
story. Me and,
Drive came up and on Netflix, and we were like, "Can we just watch this instead of Cars?"
So with the
Oh.
same friend of mine, Ariel, we were driving at night, and she handed me the aux cord, and she's like, "Play whatever you want." And I start playing Night Drive, and she was like, "Oh, turn this off." And I'm like, "What?" Daniel, you know the song.
Yes.
Nora, if you've never heard it, I'm sending it to you because it's the greatest song.
I have not. Or, I don't know, I'm bad with names, so maybe I have, but the name does not ring a bell.
It's
Sing
in the
some of it
movie.
for me, Jarron.
It's the
Wait,
only
sing it.
song in the movie.
Yeah.
In this movie? Then I know it. I just
in
don't
Drive.
know.
No, it's in Drive.
I would know it if I heard it. I just don't know the
Okay.
name.
It's a great song. She didn't like it. Sorry, Nora.
Yeah.
My friend
If Drive
made
was
that
just a
mistake.
Pixar movie, it would be great. Instead of Cars.
Yeah.
I really don't remember tons of the music from Cars. I remember I liked the music. I just don't remember like all the songs that were in
Life
it.
could be a dream. Life could be a
Could
dream.
be a dream.
I love that song.
Jaboom.
I like it when they use that song in Clue.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all seen that? Yeah.
The one with Tim Curry.
Yes. I was obsessed with that movie for a while.
I was hoping you're about to say I was obsessed with Tim Curry, because that's like
Oh, I love him too.
Stan Tim Curry. Tim
He's
Curry
great,
fan
especially
cams.
as Frankenfurter.
Yeah. I wish Olivia were here.
Well, you know she doesn't want to be. Not for Cars.
I know.
Don't drag her into this.
I mean, I think we've really spread the conversation as thin as we can, because
What do we
Yeah.
grade this movie? I know we've not graded movies so far, but I would give it a solid C+.
I do ratings. I don't do grades. I'm sorry. I'd give it a 5 out of 10.
Click right here and subscribe and get Stuckmanized.
I give it a small child car popping out of the trunk of a mother car.
I hate you.
I'm sorry
Daniel,
I burnt
totally
that image in your
understood
head.
Daniel, do you understand my amazing reference there?
How could I not understand it? You say the
Get
name of the
gravelly
dude in
eyes.
the reference. Yeah.
Nora, you watch YouTube. Are you familiar with Chris Stuckman?
Wait, what'd you say? Just the name. What'd you say?
There's a Chris Stuckman. He's a film critic on YouTube.
No.
His catchphrase is "Get Stuckmanized."
That sounds delightful, but no. I feel so unknowledged.
You uncultured swine.
I know.
I was quoting Mr.
Started with not watching Star Wars.
Speaking of the John Ratzenberger character.
We didn't even talk last week about. Okay, let's go back to. And we didn't talk about it during Finding Nemo either. Let's catch up on the Ratzenberger corner.
You mean we missed something in the 2-hour podcast?
We only talked about Incredibles for like 30 minutes of that, okay?
We talked about Kingdom Hearts and
no.
Randy and Objectivism and cereal.
And my rants about Wallace and Gromit and Tomorrowland.
So, John Ratzenberger, Pixar's Lucky Charm, as they've said, he is an actor. He voiced Ham in Toy Story. He voiced the Flea in A Bug's Life and the Abominable Snowman in Monsters, Inc. In Finding Nemo, he voices the school of fish who do the charades. In The Incredibles, he voices the Underminer. And here in Cars, he voices Mac, the Mac truck.
Very creative.
Oh.
Yeah, they have that whole credit sequence dedicated to just making a joke about how they keep using him.
Yeah, that's actually kind of funny.
I thought it was great.
Monster Trucks Incorporated is just it writes itself.
I'm partial to, you are a toy car.
Yeah.
Like, it does exactly what this movie does. It just slaps car things onto stuff that's already there.
It totally does.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's somewhat self-aware.
Yeah. Poor Cars.
Poor Cars.
Poor Cars. Well, this
Pour
movie...
money into Cars, toys that you can buy at the store.
Yeah, we shouldn't feel too bad for
like
this movie.
Wait, what?
We really shouldn't feel too bad for this movie because it made a lot of money in merchandise for Disney.
Yeah.
Like,
my favorite thing about this movie is the voice acting again.
Paul Newman does a really good job as Doc Hudson. The late
Yeah,
great
there's some solid voice work.
Larry the
The
Cable
voice
Guy
work in
is-
Incredibles is still my favorite. I think it's better,
Oh,
but
it's so much
I
better.
enjoy the voices and yeah, obviously. But I mean, like I enjoy Larry Cable Guy and like Owen Wilson, Doc.
And Bonnie Hunt did a really good job too.
She has
Yeah.
been in a number of Pixar movies.
That's true. But
There's a lot of little references in this movie. Lightning McQueen's tire brand is Lightyear.
yep.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Well, the best tire brand comes up in Cars 2, Lassa Tire.
They went there.
Yes, they did.
That is a Joey, like, Joey would very much appreciate that.
We have to get him on the
He
Cars
would.
2 episode.
No, Cars 2, I've already had the idea. If Incredibles was our Avengers,
It's our
Cars 2
Justice
is...
League.
No, it's our Endgame. Like, we're going to have people coming out of the portals and, like...
You're gonna make Cars 2 your end game?
It's our Christmas special, Nora.
Okay.
We have to do something big for it.
We have to go big. I mean, Toy Story 3 is the week before, and that is my favorite Pixar movie.
Toy Story 3 is so sad. I saw it as a small child and I was crushed. Like crying, crushed.
Okay, we're going to have
I
you
have a
on for that episode.
Yeah. I had a very traumatic moment related to Toy Story 3. You know how like all the
Well,
toys like
please
end up
save
in
it.
the
Please save it,
Okay,
Nora.
fine.
Please.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
I'm
It's just
sorry.
I have a feeling I know where this is going, but yes, Toy
It's
Story
not really
3
that traumatic, but in my child mind it was.
is my favorite Pixar movie. Ratatouille is my second favorite. So we're getting to that next week, which I'm very excited about.
yeah. Toy Story 3 is the best threequel Pixar has ever made.
I mean,
Yeah.
Not that Cars 3 was bad. It's just the difference between Toy Story 3 and Cars 3 is almost as big as the difference between Cars and Cars 3.
I mean, the
Yeah.
difference between Toy Story 2 and Cars 2.
Toy Story 2. I
Oh.
liked Toy Story 2.
Comparing, those are both John Lasseter sequels to John Lasseter original.
That's right.
movies.
John Lasseter did
And-
direct Cars 2.
And it's so baffling how good one is and how horrible the other is.
Yeah.
I mean, at least Cars 2 is like funny bad, you know?
Yeah.
yeah,
it's
it's
interesting.
entertaining.
Compared to this movie, it's much more entertaining to watch.
Do you know who one of my favorite like YouTubers is?
Arlo?
Who?
I love Arlo. Shout out to my boy Arlo, Blue Puppet Man who talks about Nintendo. I love you, Arlo. You're my favorite. But
Oh.
no, he's not even really a YouTuber. So back in the 90s, I'll finish it.
I was in a very famous TV show.
Yeah.
What is happening?
So back in the 90s, there was a TV show on local access television called Flights of Fantasy. And it was a comic book, trading card, action figure, video game show. The video game portions of that show were posted on YouTube as Gaming in the Clinton Years, because they're from the 90s. And it's this man who is like maybe 40 at the time in the 90s reviewing video games. And his reviews are so all over the place and like scattered that it is so humorous and funny to watch and just listen to him go on. He has a particular fondness for Donkey Kong Country, which is a fantastic video game, maybe one of my favorite video game soundtracks of all time. But his reviews are like, he goes on about Donkey Kong Country is one of the greatest video games ever made, but the controls are really weird and bad, and the Silicon graphics weren't good enough in my opinion. However, if you don't like Donkey Kong Country, I declare you stupid. And Donkey Kong Country is one of the best video games ever made. George Wood, that man is like my hero. He is just a beautiful man. He is so great. I'm going to have to send you guys this.
Please do.
But the video quality and audio quality. This was on television, mind you. Nora, do you like video games?
Me? Yeah, I like video games. I don't like play them all the time, but I do enjoy them.
I know at least Daniel has a PS3.
I'm a Wii gal.
You're
You
a
don't
couple
realize.
generations behind, but then again, so am I.
You guys do know they're still making Just Dance on the Wii, right? The Wii.
Yes,
2
I
generations.
love Just Dance.
Well, that's the only one with motion control, so of course they are.
But like, the Wii U has come and passed, and it's the era of the Switch. Shout out to my boy Arlo.
I do have a Switch.
You have a Switch?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, but I only use it to watch Hulu and Steven Universe on my TV.
You should get Super
Yeah.
Smash Bros. Ultimate.
I've just been playing Baba Is You. Like, just relentlessly playing Baba Is You.
The
The only video games I play is I obsessively play Her Interactive Nancy Drew games, which if you don't know what they are, shame on you. They're wonderful.
What are they?
We should see if we could play the Cars video games on Switch.
I have
the
the Cars video game on PS2 from when I was a child.
How is it?
Aww.
Not bad, actually. For a licensed video game, it's not that bad.
Well, I mean,
It's
it's
like
not hard to make a video game out of Cars.
Well, I mean, it's a racing game, but there's tons of different race modes, I remember. And I remember it being kind of fun.
More fun than this movie, maybe.
Oh.
Ooh.
I mean, it's true. Like, there are a lot of points where it just kind of dips. Like, I feel like the tractor tipping scene could have ended without having that whole Frank chase.
Yeah.
I feel like there were just a lot of scenes that kind of hit the same beats where Lightning hates the town. He just hates it. He hates it. He hates it. And stuff like that.
He express his anger.
Yeah.
Repetitively.
There are a lot of scenes where Doc just had to be like, "Oh, I don't like you, you city racing car boy, you."
Millennial. Okay, boomer.
Everyone's a boomer except Lightning and Sally. Like,
yeah, they're millennials.
They're millennials, and Mater is a boomer.
But Mater's like
that
the cool,
shocks me.
The cool boomer. Like, there are people who are boomers who are like cool that I know.
Cool boomers.
Cool boomers.
Well, I might be. No, I'm not a millennial. You told me the other day, Nora, that I'm.
Yeah, you're Generation Z. You're one of me.
So our whole cast, Daniel, was out at lunch the other day, and I mentioned that I was a millennial, and everyone got on their phone to disprove the fact that because I was born in 1996, technically that makes me Gen Z. I am a Zoomer.
Yeah, we were like,
really?
You were saying a falsehood. You were one of us.
Most of the time, I see 1996 or 1997 being the cutoff year for the last millennials.
Yeah, so I'm one of those fidget spinning, Post Malone listening, Fortnite playing.
I mean, we're both pretty much
riding,
just on the fringe.
Fortnite
really.
Dancing, TikTok making.
I claim both of you. You are both one of me. Generation Z. Welcome. It's a cult.
Let's draw more lines in the sand and have more tribal group mentalities. Yeah.
Lines in the sands.
Now grab your hydro flasks and let's run towards the flower-crowned sunset.
And watch Cars 3 on our mobile phones without headphone jacks.
Well, there are other things to watch, but yes.
What do you kids watch on YouTube? Like James Charles.
Shane Dawson series, and the finale is coming out tomorrow.
I am not a fan of Shane Dawson. It's so funny because I remember when I was younger than you, Shane Dawson was a YouTuber. And he did radically different content than what he does now.
And I love it. I love the changing of the channel. I love Sister Shane. I am shook And well, we can't really say Sister Shane because there's a whole thing with him and Jeffrey from the summer. Not Jeffrey. James. Him and Jeffrey love each other because they just made a palette that's gorgeous. And the finale comes out tomorrow. A makeup
Nora,
palette. A palette.
Nora, I want to say, you talked more passionately about Shane Dawson's show than you said about anything Cars related.
Nora, you get an okay boomer pass to throw at me. You get to go and say okay boomer at me.
I told you, I'm not that fond of Cars, but it's okay. I like it, I guess. But Shane Dawson is my queen.
Good for you.
Him.
Do I have a favorite YouTuber?
You just said.
Oh, well, okay,
we just went on a whole 10-minute tangent.
He's not really a YouTuber, though. He just posted his videos to YouTube back in, 2008 of his show from the 90s. Let me go look at my YouTube subscribe list so I can just throw a few recommendations at you that aren't Chris Stuckman or Gaming in the Clinton Years, or Arlo, for that matter. I really like, I don't know if he counts as a YouTuber, but I really like Bill Wirtz.
Yeah, Bill Wirtz is good. Look, to be honest, it does seem like we've gotten off the track for Cars.
Yeah. This turned into a conversational podcast.
It really is. And that's not the worst thing in the world. We got more content out of it than we probably would have otherwise. Yeah. It's just a case of we should probably find a way to wrap it up so we can talk about other things on our own time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So closing thoughts on Cars.
It's okay, but you can skip.
It's average.
It has a great ending, but that doesn't redeem the movie.
And it doesn't justify a sequel either.
Owen Wilson's great.
But money does, Jarron. Money justified the sequel.
We've got to have money.
That's why we're getting Joker 2 and a second live-action Aladdin movie. And
gross. No,
we're not. No, we're not. You're kidding. You're lying.
No, I'm not. They are already in talks for a sequel.
So what? The Return of Jafar in live action?
It's up to Guy Ritchie.
Jafar, right?
Yeah, we know. It's the straight-to-DVD sequel. Basically, Planes.
And they got Homer Simpson to voice the genie because they couldn't get Robin Williams.
No, did you not hear my sick Planes reference? The spin-off to Cars?
Thankfully, Planes is just Disney and not Pixar, so we won't have to talk about it.
Yes, I'm glad we don't have to. Because
I've never seen it.
And I don't want to.
I don't want to. It looks gross.
And I haven't seen the sequel either.
I saw a few scenes.
There's a sequel?
Yeah, Planes, Fire, and Rescue.
How do you know that?
Because I saw the trailers for it nonstop years back, and I was so sick of it.
He's a Disney boy.
I am too, but my memory of the last 5 years is 5 years for what you've done. Yes, 2 for 6.
Oh, wait. Oh, there's Les Mis coming out of him.
Ben and I noticed that I don't call him 24601 at all in our production.
No, we really cut that bad boy. But you know what they didn't cut? Cars. They made 3 of them.
They made 3 of them. And
that was my title.
I'm
proud of me.
Countless little Mater shorts, which are honestly more funny than the movies themselves.
All of which John Lasseter directed.
He did?
Yeah.
Huh.
Or he at least wrote them all. Yeah. And it's no surprise that he really took a break from Pixar films after this for a while, because he was doing all the shorts, and he was the head of Pixar and Disney Animation for a time.
And then things happened.
Yep. Things that probably explain a lot of the sexual jokes in this movie.
Oh yeah, there are a few.
I mentioned the headlights scene earlier. There are a lot of sexual jokes in Cars. What
happened to make the sexual jokes?
Have you not heard about John Lasseter sexual harassment?
No.
Okay. I want to live in your world.
I'm an uncultured swine. I'm sorry.
No, in this case, it's probably for the best.
Yeah.
Finding out the guy who made the Toy Stories is a horrible person is not something you like hearing.
Wait, the guy who made all these things sexually harassed people?
Yeah,
That's bad.
I'm very sorry to have to break this news to you, Nora. I really
I
am.
don't. Wait, no, but it's Pixar and Disney happiness.
And behind the scenes,
No.
John Lasseter got handsy. It's bad.
Ah.
I'm very. This is the note we're ending it on. Cars.
No. I'm not a fan of that. Looks like cars weren't the only thing he was doing with his hands and drawing. Oh no, that's not good.
Well, what a note to leave it on. Cars, the movie that John Lasseter definitely made, and also he did bad things.
He did bad
And made
things.
sexual innuendos towards. Oh,
But the thing
goody.
is, there were plenty of other good people who weren't
Yes.
him.
That's true. This is a much more uplifting note to end it on.
There will always be good
Owen
people in this.
Wilson,
Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson.
Larry the Cable Guy.
Yes.
Well, that was Cars.
Yep. I've been Daniel.
I've been Jarron.
I've been emotionally scarred.
Very sorry, Nora.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding.
Join
I've
us
been
next
Nora.
time. Join us next time when we talk about a significantly better Pixar movie
1,000. And John Lasseter had nothing to do with it.
outside of
Ratatouille.
being in charge of everything.
He was the executive producer in that film. Executive producer is a glorified vanity title.
Yes, it is. John Lasseter had nothing to do with Ratatouille. Good night.